Peace, family. Hope all is well. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about case precedent. At this point in our academy, yesterday we went over stare decisis, and today we're going to be going over case precedent, okay? But first, a disclaimer. This is not financial advice. This is not legal advice. If you are seeking financial or legal advice, highly encourage you to seek legal or financial counsel immediately. Let's get into it. What is case precedent? A case precedent is a past court decision that serves as a guideline or example for deciding future cases with similar facts or legal questions. It is a crucial part of the common law system where courts rely on judicial decisions rather than just statutes, written laws, to resolve disputes. Keyword there, common law, family, okay? So keep that in mind as we continue. Now we have two types of precedents, okay? You have your binding precedent, which is mandatory, okay? Lower courts must follow decisions made by higher courts in the same jurisdiction. So just like in our last video, okay? Understanding the structure as a whole, okay, would give you more of a proper understanding, okay, with your mandatory precedent, your binding precedent, okay? So if the South Carolina Supreme Court has ruled on a decision, okay, as a precedent in another case that is not yours, you can then utilize that precedent, okay, like here in your South Carolina Circuit Court in favor as a binding precedent, something that is mandatory for them to follow to give you your victory, okay? So the example for your binding precedent. A South Carolina magistrate court must follow rulings made by the South Carolina Supreme Court. So if a ruling was made here at the Supreme level, it has to be followed down here at the magistrate level as well. Let's continue. For our second type of precedent, okay, we have persuasive precedent, which is optional. Courts can consider rulings from other states or federal courts as guidelines, but they are not required to follow them. For example, a South Carolina court may look at a North Carolina case for ideas if no local precedent exists. Okay, so be mindful of those two things, those differences, all right? Let's continue. Why does precedent matter? Okay, so as you can see here, consistency ensures similar cases are treated fairly. Efficiency saves time since courts don't have to redecide issues already settled. Stability provides predictability so people know what to expect from the law. Flexibility. Courts can overturn precedents if they are outdated or unjust. Let's keep it rolling. So let's look into some examples of case precedents, okay? This is a mortgage focus. All right, the case here, right to rescind a loan, okay? Janowski versus Countrywide Home Loans, 2015. What are the facts? Borrowers wanted to cancel their mortgage under the Truth in Lending Act within 3 years without filing a lawsuit. Ruling. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that written notice is enough, no lawsuits needed. How did this impact the case? Borrowers nationwide now have a clear process to cancel loans under Truth in Lending, protecting against lender violations. Let's get into another example. Case 2 here, foreclosure procedures, U.S. Bank versus Ibanez, okay? What are the facts? The bank foreclosed on properties but couldn't prove ownership of the mortgage. Ruling. Banks must prove ownership of the mortgage before foreclosing. Impact. Ensures banks follow proper documentation rules before evicting homeowners. Okay, let's get into another one. Another example. All right, here, predatory lending. In our third case, Quicken Loans Incorporated versus Brown, 2014. What are the facts? Borrowers claim fraud on predatory lending practices when pressured into unaffordable mortgage loans. So what is our ruling? Court found Quicken Loans guilty and ordered financial compensation. What is our impact? Courts now scrutinize loan practices to protect borrowers from abuse. Now, family, let's speak about when these precedents can be overturned, okay? Precedents aren't set in stone. They can be overturned if social values change, okay? For example, Brown versus Board of Education in 1954 overturned Plessy versus Ferguson 1896 to end segregation, okay? That's the social impact. Times have changed, so it was able to be overturned, okay? Let's continue. As you can see here in number 2, legal errors exist. An example is errors in statutory interpretation may force courts to correct past rulings, okay? And thirdly here, new evidence emerges. Scientific or economic changes may invalidate old rulings. And if you're dealing in commerce, these types of things aren't going to happen to you that often, okay? It's just mandatory for me to you guys to understand how these things can be overturned and how they can be used, okay? Let's roll. So let's look at this. How does precedent affect eviction cases? I know it's hard to read, but here it says eviction notice rules. If a South Carolina court previously ruled that tenants must receive 60 days notice for non-renewal, one can cite that precedent in their defense. Right here, wrongful evictions. If courts ruled that landlords cannot evict tenants without cause or notice, this precedent strengthens their case. Let's look at here. Mortgage defense. If precedents protect borrowers from improper foreclosure filings, it may help avoid eviction if tied to mortgage disputes. All right, family. So let's just do us a quick visual summary, okay? The precedent flow in South Carolina. South Carolina Supreme Court sets binding precedents. Second, South Carolina Court of Appeals follows it. Thirdly, circuit and magistrate courts apply it to local cases. So let's look at it here in our flow chart, okay? The South Carolina Supreme Court sets binding precedents, okay? Binding precedents, they're mandatory. Lower courts must follow decisions made by higher courts in the same jurisdiction. So, South Carolina Supreme Court sets binding precedents. The South Carolina Court of Appeals follows it, okay? Your circuit and your magistrate courts apply it to local cases, okay? That is your flow. All right, so to finalize all of this, binding precedents must be followed. Persuasive precedents can be considered. They are overturnable if outdated or unjust, just like we spoke about right here between Brown and the Board of Education, okay? They were able to overturn it, okay, because of the social value changes and our impact, okay? It protects fairness, stability, and predictability, okay? Because these things have already happened, therefore it's saving them time, all right? And ruling in favor of the plaintiff. So family, all in all, I thoroughly appreciate you guys going through this video. I hope this helps you guys to understand, okay, case precedents, right, via our objectives. Within this week, we've already gone through the legal claim, stare decisis, and now we're talking about the case precedent so that you can mold all of these things together, okay? All right, family, so if you are interested, all right, in becoming a student, I have my syllabus on my page here, okay? You'll be able to look at it, or you can take a screenshot of it here. Okay, right now we're here on week 2, all right? Legal authority, stare decisis, and case precedent, okay, is what I will be hammering home for you guys, okay? We're on week 2 right here. Week 1 already has the videos for you, okay? It's already on my page. And now we're walking through week 2. Check out the syllabus, our description, the course objectives, and the schedule, okay? If you are interested, simply just email me down here or type interested in the comments and I'll shoot you the link right over so that you can join via Patreon, okay? Learning at your pace, as well as having these videos already pre-recorded for you. And we have exercises, we have worksheets. That way you can see yourself building up your competency to be able to handle these things fluently in the court, okay? And its procedures. You can check out our modules. We've already gone through the legal claim, okay? Now we're going through the legal authority and precedent, which is why I keep showing you guys this slide here to make sure that you know which spot we are on, okay? Which directly correlates with our modules here for this month of January, okay? So like I always say, family, hope this helps, and I love you guys. Peace.